Hey everyone, so here's just a really short video for you, not using any props at all, to help loosen up the hamstrings. So this is a really common complaint, a really common request that I get in a lot of classes, so I thought I would take a couple of minutes to show you a few variations of things that we can do to loosen up some of the tension so that we don't feel any strain in the low back and that the hamstrings just start to feel a little bit looser. So we're going to start on our backs, and go ahead and start with a bend in your knees. So when our legs are straight, our hamstrings are more in a lengthened straight state. So with this bend in the knees, we're creating just a little bit of slack here for the hamstring. So starting off really gentle. Let's just take a moment to connect with the breath. Taking a huge breath in through the nose. And exhale, let it go. Now sealing the lips and letting the breath flow naturally in and out of the nose. Just a few more breaths here. Each inhale, deepen the breath in. And with each exhale, lengthening the breath out. Stay present with the breath, but walk the feet together and bring the right knee in towards the chest. So all we're going to do here is just move the knee around in little circles, just getting a little bit of movement, and then rotate the ankle around in little circles. Good. And now from here, hold on to the back of the right thigh about midway between the knee and the sit bone, and see if you can squeeze the thigh pretty close to the belly, maybe it's even touching, and flex the right foot. From here, as you inhale, stretch the lower leg and point the toes at the very top, right when you start to feel those hamstrings getting a little bit stretched. And now as you exhale, bend the knee, flex the foot, you'll feel that slack. So we're going to continue on just like that. Stretch the lower leg, point the toes, and then bend the knee, flex the foot. But see if you can start to notice, even on a deeper level, what's going on. So certainly we're creating this feeling of slide and glide in the hamstrings. We're loosening up some of that fascial tissue. And you might even feel, some of us might feel like there's one huge muscle back there that's just kind of engaging, contracting, releasing. And some of us might actually be able to differentiate between the three muscles as we continue to move the leg back and forth. Now that's not important. But what I want us to consider here on a deeper level is that we're flossing the sciatic nerve. So what we're doing here by creating space in the tissue, for allowing that effortless slide and glide in the hamstring muscles, is we're creating the ability for the sciatic nerve to move freely. So it doesn't get stuck, it doesn't get compressed. We're creating this natural pathway for that nerve. So let's do just a few more. You might feel a little tugging at the sit bone, maybe even in the low back here. So how about just one more? And at the very top here, start to push your leg away from you. Flex the foot, arms will straighten. Good. And now really actively press the leg into the hands and pull the hands into the leg. So this is a little bit of effort here. The arms are working, the hands are working, the leg is pushing away from you as the hands are pulling the leg towards you. Some of you might be experiencing a little shaking in the leg. Good. Now we're going to continue to pull with the hands, but stop pressing with the leg. And just go to where you meet resistance, pause there, and then repeat. So now press the leg away from you as you pull the hands towards you. Good. Stop pressing the leg. Relax by pulling the hands into the back of the thigh. And how about one more? Push the leg into the hands, hands into the leg. Good. And then release. And if you have the ability, slide the hands up any amount on the leg. Keep rooting down through the sacrum. And if you have the space, now stretch the left leg all the way down. Keep breathing. Just one more breath here. See if you can almost pull the head of the femur bone into the hip socket. Good. And then really carefully release the leg, stretch it out next to your right leg, and completely relax here for just a moment in this Shavasana. And notice the difference from side to side. So this is really important, this observation of the changes that are happening. So we might notice that sensation of longer length on the right side, maybe just more relaxed in the low back. Maybe that right side feels a little bit more externally rotated than the left, or even just more relaxed overall. So now let's get to the other side. So put a bend in the knees, and this time we'll hug that left knee in towards the chest. Begin to move the knee around in little circles. Maybe move the foot in little circles. And then interlace the hands again behind the left thigh, squeezing thigh onto belly, flex the foot. As you inhale, stretch the shin to the foot, point the toes. As you exhale, bend the knee, flex the foot. So again, tuning into what you're feeling here. So maybe closing the eyes, and at first just sensing that feeling of contraction and relaxation as you move back and forth. And then maybe noticing the feeling of the muscles on the hands. Maybe again it feels like one giant muscle with no separation, or maybe you're able again to begin to sense that the more that we continue to move. Sense that separation of muscles. And then on an even deeper level, see if you can sense the feeling of the nerve moving effortlessly through the tissue. So just a few more. Feel free to match the breath to the movement if you're not already doing that. Good, let's take just one more. And now press the leg away from you, flex the foot as you're pulling the hands into the hamstrings. We should feel a pretty decent contraction in the hamstring muscles. As you push the leg away from you, pull the hands towards you. Use as much effort as you want here. And then we're going to continue to pull with the hands, but release any effort with the leg. So getting into that first range of motion here. Pause and breathe. And then again, begin to push with the leg into the hands, hands back into the leg. And release, gently pull the hands. Find a little bit deeper stretch, maybe you've reached your end range here for today. And then just one more, push the leg into the hands, hands into the leg. One more time. Good, and then release, see if you can slide the hands up the leg any amount. Remember to ground down through the sacrum, and then if you continue to feel like there's space there, stretch the right leg all the way down. Don't force this. We're just meeting that place where we feel resistance. One more breath. And let it go. Good. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, release. Just take a moment to notice. Stay there as long as you like, If you'd like to now, just bring the knees in towards you. Rock all the way up to a seated position and practice this one often. So I promise the hamstrings will start to loosen up, we'll start to feel a little less restrictive the more that we do this. Maybe we do it every day before we even get out of bed. So thank you for watching once again. Namaste.